Big Mom's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. Mama and Lizard are here with you to talk about Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 9.
And I would like to say sorry this being posted so late.
Technical difficulties.
And
it's TLC's fault.
Right, like it wouldn't record, so Mom couldn't take her notes. And let me tell you, without Mama's notes, we would not be doing good watching this. This episode especially has such little details from the different
I think almost every single one does. And if you're not paying attention, it's so easy to not catch it.
Right.
And how it relates maybe to other things. And
because then once you write it down, you're like, wait, didn't they say this before? And then you go back.
Right.
We keep notes. We keep track. We keep the records.
I do. I have lots and lots of detailed notes, and I'm still working on going back to starting from the first season to do all the deep dive comparisons into their nonsense.
But anyway,
we want to thank you guys also for being here with us every single listen and like and subscribe. And if you subscribe, because it's free.
And as of this point, we have hit over 50 subscribers as of making this video.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you to all 53 of you last time I checked, I think. We definitely appreciate it. Papa definitely appreciate it. He loves seeing those numbers go up.
Yeah, in fact, he has gone away this week for training for a new job, so keep your fingers and hopes crossed for him.
Also, give your love to Mama. This is like the first time ever in their marriage they've been separated for days like this.
Yes, except for like when I was in the hospital that one time.
Yeah. But again, like it's first
it is really hard so I'm trying to keep myself busy and be proactive and make some
entertainment for you guys.
Exactly. Hang out with you guys for a bit, my friends. But thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We really truly appreciate every single one of you who listen.
But also I was thinking of what to start calling our followers on the channel. What do you guys think? Should you be Mama's kids? Should you be like siblings? The fam.
I call my kids my kiddos.
You can be all Mama's kids. Mom will accept and love each and every one of you.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're here for. You're coming in a Big Mama's house.
And Dad knows about baseball and football, so even that father figure.
If you're into the gaming stuff, the kids have got you covered there. If you like more psychological, in-depth, looking at the other people's lives and seeing what makes them tick, I'm your gal.
Everyone's welcome at Mama's table.
And we always got a fuzzy to hang out with you when you're doing it. So yeah, anyway, you are all very, very welcome here at Big Mama's house. We love y'all.
Thank you.
But you are here to talk about Sister Wives. This originally aired this last Sunday, October 15th, 2023. And we do apologize for the technical difficulties we've had in getting this to you, but we did as quick as we could. Yes. So we opened that episode with Christine cooking dinner at Garrison's new house for everyone except Truly, because they don't want her to hear anything negative maybe being said about Cody or Robin, which is very, very responsible parenting. Right. And it has been, at this point, been 6 months since Christine left Cody. And I think that's interesting. That 6-month mark is everybody's had a chance to kind of have their feelings and get over shit and move on and try to, just get along for the kids' sake.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like that's happening so much. And that really makes me sad for poor Truly and Savannah. I mean, because she's barely 18 at this point,
And funny thing enough, Cody keeps been about how they talk crap in front of your kids. No, they're listening to their adult kids.
Yes.
Be upset at you, and they have
they listen and are supportive of their kids, but they don't say anything negative.
Right. If you notice, it's all the kids, and whenever they do say something negative about Cody, it's around other adults, not around the kids.
Right, and then we have a rare Brianna sighting. And she's crying about the other kids, and she and Savannah ignore each other at school.
Which is interesting because not all the kids are doing that, as we talk about later.
Yeah, and I mean, if there are no issues between them, I mean, they're some of the youngest. And they've never like had anything against each other. Why do they ignore each other?
Because of how Robin is always keeping their dad. Because they're the kids, and plus, right now Christine's isn't with Cody. She's divorced with them,
Yeah.
and her kids would be a part of that. And remember, like how Cody didn't talk to Janelle's boys
Yeah.
and didn't talk to them over Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, I get why a bunch of them would start getting upset and going to their siblings, and their siblings decided to just they can't look at or talk to their Robin's kids because they know that they can tell Robin and then Cody.
That's an interesting theory. Very interesting.
That's how it would be whenever I was back in school.
But then we're over with Mary and Jen in Utah, and they are emptying her carriage house and moving everything to storage so that she can use it for her clothing business. And Jen's husband, Sean, comes over to help them. And Mary makes the comment that she hasn't had a man's help in many years.
Because Cody is useless.
But regardless, their spiritual commitment still holds. So
That's so sweet, but also so sad.
yeah.
If someone went to a person who actually cared about her, it would be the sweetest thing ever.
Or it could even be like kind to her and be like, hey, look,
Treat her with
if you want to stay in the religious, spiritual commitment, fine, great. But we're only going to see each other at like family functions. It's going to be like you're my wife's friend, and we're not really going to. And if they would have that open and honest conversation and like lay it out on the table how their expectations really are, I think something would have been resolved a long time
And you
ago.
notice how, again, like how Robin and Cody would talk about she just needs to go, or like she doesn't want to be selfish, keep her here, but she, again, like all this is said in private interviews. They never say it to Mary.
But all of the wives in their different interviews agree that polygamous men can't have a favorite wife. Janelle said he has to grow beyond his normal selfish capacity and be able to love all of these women in their own way and give them adequate time and connection. And I mean, to me, that's not saying, anybody wants anything special, but we all, need to feel equal,
Right.
And you can't have a favorite, and he needs to grow beyond his own selfish capacity, which is part of the religion. You have to, like, the women have to overcome their own, like, worldly, like, issues, like jealousy and all that.
You can't be jealous of the other wife of your husband.
But the man has to do better too. He's got to grow and do the best he can for each one. And Cody hasn't in a very long time. And Cody says the only reason a man would have a favorite wife is because she was so loyal.
And he's referring to Robin.
That sounds more like your favorite dog. Like your dog is loyal to you, not your wife. I mean, yes, your wife should be loyal to you, but only if you've earned it.
Right.
You have, like, the respect thing. He, like, just demands it. You have to earn that and continue earning it.
But in his mind, he deserves the respect because he's the patriarch. And if Robin and her kids can do it, why can't they?
This is so fucking baffling to me. But then Janelle said, most men fail, obviously, because they end up having a favorite and they do not treat their wives equally. And then we find out that Gabe and Gwen are going to move in with Garrison, and Christine still thinks it's a bad idea.
Yeah, they're too different. I don't see this going well.
Yeah. And then we find out that Truly is with Cody, and Christine said that hold on, y'all. Sorry, y'all. You know how they are around here. If they hear a cricket farting down the street, they gotta freak out and tell everybody about it.
Rascal sees that dang squirrel in the yard, and he gotta get his sister involved.
Yeah, that's enough. Thank you. We already took care of it. It's fine. Thank you. Anyway, you guys. So, Truly is with Cody while everyone's getting together for dinner. And Christine said Truly thinks she and Cody have a great relationship. So that's great.
Right. Again, like Christine focuses on with her kids.
Right. She's just like, she thinks she's got a great relationship with him. So who am I to say anything different?
Right.
But Christine felt the best way to preserve their relationship, meaning Truly and Cody's, was to move her away from him. And I was like, damn, that is so true. Right. Because had they stayed around, very quickly she's getting to the age where she's going to notice things like that.
Like
And
he's not
staying in town, she's going to see, oh, I see dad like once every couple of months, but yeah, he's there all the time. He never calls me, he never texts me, he doesn't come to my school stuff. Like, evidently I don't matter. And this way, there's a distance, there's an excuse for
right,
him not to be involved and care that much.
right.
Well, I say that's a very generalized way of saying it, but you know what I
I mean,
mean.
that's what our sperm donor did. So
But right. And so she took the relationship while it was still good and moved it.
Cody
And
says that's bullcrap.
that way she's not privy to the day-to-day favoritism and priority status others hold. Wow. I mean, that you go, Christine, because that is very true. And I know that wasn't really the legit reason why you moved, but it was probably a very one of the good reasons on the list of why moving was a good idea.
Yeah. And then Cody just says it's bullcrap.
And then he calls it BS, rationalization, and ridiculous. And then we find out that Gabe and Garrison haven't heard from Cody since Gabe's last conversation with Cody. And Cody said that he only cares for his minor children.
And
I'm thinking that's a read between the lines kind of, because I'm sure that's not a direct quote from him to his children.
But no, he's even said he pays more special attention to the younger kids.
Exactly.
Because they need him more. AKA they worship him more.
Exactly. And then Janelle said, I can observe that Cody seems to have trouble relating to his older kids and seems to dote on the younger ones. Then Robin's talking head says, before COVID, Cody's relationship with the older kids was really, really good. After Christine left, all that changed.
She's blaming Christine for the...
And that's not why it all changed.
No.
COVID and your bullshit rules and excluding everyone from your life except that your household is what fucked up the family.
You just stick to one household because you have 4 of them.
Yep. And then Garrison said he bought a house, got into school, and bought the car he wanted that Cody said he should never get since he last talked to Cody.
Oh.
All that stuff has happened in his life and his dad doesn't even know.
Right.
And that's, you can tell when he's talking about this that
it makes him upset. He's mad.
Well, and I think it makes him really, after the mad, he just gets really sad. And Cody said that he reached out to the boys before and after Christmas, but they blocked him. He says they're not interested in talking to me. Well, that's funny because that's what they say about you.
Right.
So I'm like, maybe they do need a mediator, like a counselor or someone to come together and help them communicate better. I don't know.
No, wasn't it Gabe who said later on that he wouldn't be able to talk to him right now?
Maybe I'll get.
Something about his.
No, here's all that drama about the kids' Christmas texting, about doing the kids' gift exchange and all that. So we've got Janelle and Christine, Garrison, Gwen, and Savannah and Gabe, and they're eating key lime pie. Looks yummy. And they said the kids texting to arrange their sibling secret Santa gift exchange. And Robin said they should do it on Zoom so they could all see each other because Ariella's forgetting who you guys are.
And that's not Ariella's fault.
Or theirs.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got their lives to live, and plus with COVID, they weren't allowed to come around.
Right? Is their rules that have made it unable to see her.
And then I think it was maybe, what's his name? Janelle's other son. My mind just went blank. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the other one that's not there, I think he's the one that kind of joked and said, well, a 5-minute Zoom call isn't going to fix that. Which is very true. And the whole issue is that it's really hard to get 25 people with children and jobs and lives and everything else going on a Zoom call at the same time.
Right.
And not to mention who's going to be heard or understood. Why is a Zoom call necessary? That was all Robin's stipulation.
She knew how impossible it would be, and when it doesn't go through, she's still the victim.
And so the kids tried to come up with other ideas since the Zoom thing wasn't realistic.
Like they can all take videos of when the presents.
Well, not even that. It was just about, I guess, to discuss doing it
Oh yeah.
and whatever. That was all it was trying to arrange of like, how are we gonna do a secret Santa from a distance? Like, who's gonna pick the names, that kind of thing. Like, what's the budget? You know, all the little details that come that they've been doing for 20 years.
Right.
These kids know what to do. They've been doing it forever, you know, and they didn't need anyone. Y'all, it's okay. Molly is just really woofy because Papa's gone and
So
they keep looking for him. And anytime they hear a noise anywhere outside,
and we
they're
have
hoping it's
neighbors.
him. So they get very excited. So it's just, I'm sorry, you guys, but that's life with babies.
And she'll probably keep boofing.
Yes, it's gonna happen. And so Gwen tells us that Robin said there was a bunch of past trauma. And when Gwen asks what trauma, because their dad prefers them.
Right?
Right. She's
It's
like,
even the kids know this.
what trauma do you have? You've always been the favorites. You've always had dad defending
You
you.
all
You've
have
always
to-
had the best of everything. Everything you've wanted. You never had to really work. I mean, I don't even think the kids work, do they?
I don't think so.
And all the other ones were required to have a job to buy the shit they wanted.
Right?
So it's crazy. And then in her interview, Robin says, from her perspective, Cody did not choose them. She and the kids wanted to be part of that family and wanted to be accepted and loved by everyone. And she had a lot of trouble when blending the families years ago, which that's gonna happen.
Right? You're mixing a whole other family with the
3 other
I think
families.
so the other wives didn't come in with kids either. Each wife came in without kids.
Yeah, anytime you have a blended family, it's going to be complicated. We know that.
Robin's the
We've been through it
only
ourselves.
wife who came in with kids, already kids who didn't grow up with them.
Exactly. And Robin said she didn't feel much support from the other parents, and a lot of things happened that were hard. And I'm like, poor boo fucking who, dude? That's
Right?
life.
And the other wives were the ones handling the business and actually doing
Do you have
the
any idea
fun-
the shit that we've had pouring on our heads the entire fucking year?
Right?
I mean, like legit, like shit that would like break people.
We've
So I think I at this time I just have no sympathy for anybody really. I'm in a bitter place right now, and I don't have sympathy for people because man,
especially Robin.
whenever she is constantly like everybody's doing her wrong, but she's
She's
got
had
everything.
the worst life because 3 women who she basically ostracized them from her husband don't like her.
And she usurped their positions
Right?
and did it in a very manipulative way. And then she said that started to go away after 10 years or so. But when COVID hit, all of a sudden, all of Robin and her kids were all excluded again. And that's Cody.
Right?
If those were really his rules.
He was the one doing all this.
Yeah. So it's like, that's on him, dude.
What do you expect the kids to do? To like they can't come over.
Here's the problem, though.
He won't
As
go to
her
them.
best customer, she cannot publicly diss him. Because she knows that he's going to see these episodes, just like he saw, like, whenever him and Janelle had that big fight.
Yeah.
And they were talking about things that they had seen each other say on the show behind each other's back.
Yeah.
And so obviously everybody's going to know what each other says about it. So she's very, very smart. And she never says anything that isn't 100% on Cody's side on camera.
Right. And it's always on again. Also with Mary, she to her she was like, "Oh, if I want you to stay, I want you to stay, I want you to stay." And
Hang
then,
in there with me. Hang in there, worry.
and then in private, she said, "I don't want to be selfish. If she needs to go,
Right, but she doesn't tell Mary that very
right?"
often,
And
does
Cody
she?
never tells Mary to her face that he wants her to leave.
Right, so then Gwen says that Robin was complaining about trauma and how they don't respect her as a mother and other stuff. And quote, I've always considered them my siblings, and I still do, and I still consider her a mom. So Gwen's fine with everybody. She's upset with her dad, as rightly she should.
Right?
The boys are looking at it more of like a mistress situation. They're angry at the woman. And yeah, she might be the catalyst for it all, and she might be,
Cody
reaping the
made
benefits of it all.
choices.
But it was all his choices. He is the one at fault. He is the one that everyone should be angry with.
But no, but like Robin
But
said,
sometimes there's just too much feelings to lay at one person's feet, especially when that person's feet is someone that you really love and respect.
also, Cody couldn't push him to, change anything because, she's the supportive wife,
Right. So then we get before Aurora and Brianna sighting,
Yeah.
right? And they have their interviews together because they can't be alone ever,
Right.
ever. And so Aurora says before the text chain, they learned of some very strong negative feelings towards us from some siblings. Also, they were planning to have Christmas without us. No, they weren't.
No.
No, they're angry at your mom for
For-
being manipulative
And being
and
difficult.
gaslighting and the little pretty princess sitting on top of the hill,
And Robin was one who pulled out and say, okay, I guess we're not doing this.
right? And all they wanted to do was have Christmas at a neutral place that was large enough where they could all get together. Because let's be real, if you crammed an extra 40 people in Cody and Robin's living room, there's nowhere for them to sit. There's nowhere for people to go.
Right.
So it's like, wouldn't it be better just to pick up, 8 people and go there instead of having to have 40 plus people pick up and travel to you?
Right.
When you're right down the damn road.
Because everything has to be toward her though, because
No, it's got to be Cody's way. It was his little way of having his foot down, and I'm the patriarch, and we're going to do it my way.
And everyone,
Because I'm tired of being any kind of compromising or, rational human being. I just want it my way because I've returned to being 4 years old.
And they're all like, no.
Right? And then Brianna said that it's very frustrating and felt hurt and confused. And I'm like, then talk to your siblings. You see her every day.
You don't have to just, try to talk things with your parents.
But they're so brainwashed that we must make dad happy. We have to have dad's back. We've got to be the good ones who always support dad.
And we're the victims in this.
And if we stick together in that, we're all good. So then Gwen says to the family at the table, Robin said that since we weren't respecting her, then none of them would participate in Christmas with us. And then in Robin's interview, she said she got kickback and attitude from the older kids. She was like, I don't know why I'm trying. I felt very defeated. Do you overreact much?
Right? You're the one who left.
Like oversensitive.
You wouldn't stick around to actually figure out a solution.
Right? It's another, I can't have it my way, so I'm taking my kids and going home.
And then Cody follows them.
Right? And it's so stupid. And she said that she has felt like they got voted off the Brown family island.
More like all the other wives got kicked off to neighboring islands that Cody never went to.
Oh my God, yes. Ding, 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 ding. Lizard, you nailed the episode.
But the island that Rob and Cody on are still big enough to fit all the other wives and children. But no.
They don't want to share.
They don't want to share. There's just not enough room, actually.
So Gwen told them that Robin's not talking to them anymore. And then she said, then Robin had McKelty and Logan tell them that she wasn't talking to them anymore, too. And Garrison, in his interview, said a couple of days after the confrontation, we got a text from McKelty that Robin and her kids weren't participating in the gift exchange, and it kind of hurt. And he looked really upset, like he had tears in his eyes, like you could tell that hurt him,
right?
And like, it's not, even when your kids are adults, they still have feelings. They still look up to you as a parent, and if you don't at least make an effort, then.
But Cody doesn't like them because they ask questions against him and doesn't just do what he says.
I know, but I don't understand that either. When you have adult children, it's hard to make that switch from parenting to, more trying to like be more like friend advice.
Yes.
And maybe they haven't figured that out. Maybe he just wants to consider to be the king of the castle his entire life.
Probably.
And that's not realistic.
That's not normal.
So Garrison says to everyone, Robin turned it into us ostracizing her and playing the victim. The kids said, no, we're trying to figure out how to do this and adjust to your new Christmas rules. What rules?
Right? She just said that they didn't want to do it. So they didn't want to move from their house, or they want to do a Zoom call. That's what
Right.
they want to do.
To arrange the gift exchange. And then they said they want to do the gift exchange because they've been doing it for 20 years. It's like, why is it a big deal this year? Like, we've
Right.
always done it. We've always handled it. Parents aren't involved. We do it amongst ourselves.
Right? Like,
The only reason you're involved is because Ari and Solomon are so young that they need someone to help them with the gift
if you
thing.
notice, the only year it's having issues is when Robin gets involved.
Well, yeah, 100%. That's the whole fucking point. So in his interview, Cody said that Robin never made any of the Christmas COVID rules. That's not her job. It's my job. I made the rules. So again, Cody's like taking accountability, like, hey, yep, I'm the dick. That's all on me.
Everybody's happy with that.
And Gabe says to everybody, we told her we didn't mean it that way, but she was gaslighting everyone into treating her with special treatment. And Garrison agreed that it was gaslighting. And then Gwen told everyone, in the last 8 years, she's made herself a victim because she's the last wife. And then she says to her mom, you never made yourself the victim. And Garrison said, she is the catalyst of all of this. Using COVID to make Dad exclusive and then turning herself into the victim and saying it's our fault. So Gwen replied that, and Dad also chose to spend Christmas with her instead of the rest of us. If she didn't want to go, if she wasn't comfortable, he should have said, these are my kids and my grandkids. I'm going over there to see them on Christmas Day. I'll be gone for a couple hours. I'll be back in time for dinner.
With Kelsey, with her daughter and her husband.
Well, we ain't got that far yet. They're talking about Christmas or...
Yeah, when they brought her daughter over, and they said the only reason why they're really there is because her husband has a great relationship with.
We haven't got that far. You're skipping ahead like your daddy. Hang on a second. So Garrison says, when we've just been living our own lives and protested for the sake of your marriage to Christine and Mom's marriage. Once those were down the drain, meaning the marriages, we were like, cool, we're going to do our own thing. She can no longer feel the victim because she can no longer feel us attacking her because we just gave up. We didn't care about her anymore.
Ooh.
Wow.
He is full, like,
he's just laying the truth all out on the table.
You could tell he has like a silent anger behind him when he's
and sadness. He's angry at her because of the way she does play the victim, even though she's got everything.
And then brings their dad
well, and then he's sad and angry about with his dad.
Did it show like a little flashback clip of when they're talking to, and they said that they thought Robin was talking in his ear, and then he was doing all this stuff because of Robin. And Cody Lou said, "No, I did this."
Well, yeah, because everyone always just assumes that Robin is the mastermind of everything, but I firmly believe it's all Cody, and because she encourages him and doesn't rein him in at all, he just goes kind of crazy with it, and
he got mad with power, basically.
Exactly. So then in his interview, Cody says, all of you are just kind of jerks. I don't want to be around you. I'm tired of it, and I don't want to call them, and I don't want to talk to them.
That's your children, dude.
Okay, I'm just going to say...
This is like something my sperm donor would
You are just kind of a dick. And
you're one of the worst kind of a-hole. If you're on Am I the A-hole, you'd be the a-hole every time.
Every time.
Every time.
So Garrison says to everyone, and that's why I'm done with Robin. I don't care to talk to Robin anymore. I'm not going to do this. I'm doing my own thing. Robin's mad she can't have an effect on our lives anymore because we just don't care anymore. Not speaking for my siblings, but this is what I think all of the siblings think. Have him, Robin, because we don't care anymore. We're all grown adults that don't need a father figure anymore.
So sad to hear from somebody.
Yeah, because I don't care how old you are, you always need your parents.
He also doesn't mean it.
No, yeah, he can tell his heart's broken.
He looks just so sad.
And this entire time, Gabe hasn't said hardly like a word at all.
Yeah.
And he has just been sitting there looking like he wants to cry the whole time. And it makes me really sad for him.
Right. And you can tell when they're trying to joking and everything, Yeah. But it hurts them.
And so Gwen said, I would like to say I don't care, but it still hurts. And she was getting choked up. And Garrison said, we don't need Dad anymore. And in Christine's interview, she said, every kid needs a dad. Garrison's hurt. Like you could tell that Garrison was hurt and wanted to cry,
Yeah.
and she said, every kid needs a dad. And she says, I'm not apologizing for Cody's behavior, but I wish they had it easier and better. And I know that feeling very, 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 very well. And she said, I may not be able to give my kids a dad, but I can give them Janelle for goodness sake. Which is like the best thing ever.
Because that they're their moms.
Exactly.
Right?
And they always will be. And she said, Cody accused me of bullying my sister wives, aka bullying Robin. And Cody in his interview said, I never actually accused Christine of bullying. She was just a crap sister wife. She trash talked Janelle and Mary all the time. I believe it. I believe it. Because, like, who else are you going to complain to?
Right?
If you've had a long day or had issues with someone in the daytime, your husband comes home from work, and what's the first thing you want to do?
Complain to them.
Exactly. So, and if that happens to these other wives, I guess you think that because it's the sanctity of your marriage that, you have a partner who is willing to listen to you and just be there for you.
Right?
I guess that just isn't in Cody's fucking vocabulary.
Robin doesn't make him do that.
Oh my God, you're right, yeah. So Garrison tells them up until Thanksgiving, which was this last year, he would call Cody for advice. And Gwen says, I miss Aurora. And then Garrison said, I miss Dayton. I want to mend relationships with my siblings. But if Robin's there, I don't give a shit. I don't have the emotional maturity to do a face-to-face with Robin. It wouldn't be good.
And that's like good for him to admit to himself.
He's self-aware. He knows.
He's like, I can't see her or else it won't be good.
And Gwen says she'd probably manipulate us or start crying. Well,
Even
she's in on the show. She knows what's up.
Right? She watches the shows.
So in Robin's interview, she said she realized nothing I would say or do at this point. They're ever going to see me with the right intention, that I mean it. And they're always going to be seen. I'm always going to be seen as a bad guy. Well, don't act like a bad guy.
Right?
And
don't fill yourself with a bad guy.
Don't only have your husband's back, have like your kids' back.
Right? If you want to be treated as a mom to them, you have to be a mom.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Again, you don't get respect without earning it. You don't get,
I mean, she didn't have time to be a mom to those kids. Don't you remember? That's why she needed the nanny.
Yeah, because she had her best customer to take care of. You. And then so finally, Gabe says to everyone, he talks to Aurora a little at school. And she's the only one of them to say, I love you since COVID. Which was like 2 years ago almost at this point.
So sad.
Yeah, and especially when he's talking about his dad.
Too. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Because that's who he was referring to.
Yeah.
And then in their interview together, Aurora said she and Gabe have bumped into each other a few times on campus. They hug, give well wishes, I love yous. They check in on each other. And personally, Gabe has been nothing but kind to her. I'm glad she can at least be objective.
Right.
Not just lump everybody in a group together because you have an issue with one or two of the kids. You don't just ostracize them all.
But also, Aurora is the one also who still gets attention from Cody. I mean, he went to a piercing with her, remember?
I wonder if the kids know that at this point.
I don't think so. I don't think them know. She probably won't tell them.
Yeah, oh gosh. The heartbreak on these kids all the time. In his interview, Cody said, this is a divorce. In most cases, a divorce is a civil war. She's feeding flames in a civil war. I think she's got some terrible karma coming. Who is she? What karma? Is he talking about?
He's talking about Christine, and he thinks she's the one, like, talking crap and making their kids believe it. One is the other way around. The kids are talking crap, and she's being a supportive mom.
Well, and they hear the shit that Cody says about their moms, and
Right.
that is not helping his case at all.
Right, especially like when they go back and look at it through, because they can watch these episodes. They are
And the older kids are the ones who's encouraging their mothers to get the fuck out.
right.
So then Gwen says, "Oh my God, imagine your father loving you."
And she was trying to make a joke out of it, but that's so sad.
I'm trying to hold back tears because that is just.
That's the kind of joke I would have made about my sperm donor.
But you wouldn't have really been upset about it.
Oh,
She
no, no, no,
was.
no, yeah, Mallow would be. Oh,
She would have been the one like saying it and like wanting to cry.
right.
And then Savannah says to her, I still think he loves you. He's just angry at you for no reason. Well, at least the youngest of the family, knows what's up.
Also, Garrison or Gabe tried to stop her, and she's like, "No, no, just keep talking."
Yeah, her
You could
mind.
tell they were trying not to get too,
Yes, I completely agree that they were trying to.
kind of cool things down.
Yeah. And in Christine's interview, she said, I've told Gwen for years that Cody loves her, but it's not my job to convey Cody's love to Gwendolyn. It's his job.
Right?
And I completely 1000% agree, but I also tried for years to tell you guys that your father, your bio father, loved you in his own stupid way. And
Again, you were trying to keep the relationship between us.
yes,
And he-
I never talked bad about him to you guys ever.
Again, Cody and him fricked it up for themselves.
Yes. So in his interview, Cody said, every shit talk, every trash talk, every opinion is absolutely reciprocated. I think the same thing of them. Not of her, meaning Christine or Janelle,
But his kids.
them. And I'm like, man, you are showing yourself to
You
be
are
a bigger
disgusting.
piece of trash than I ever thought you could be. But like, this guy has no reason around kids at all
No.
because he's abusive. This is fucking emotional abuse. And it's not okay. And it's really pissing me off. And I don't think there's strong enough words to describe to you guys how fucking irritated I am right this minute, which you can see in my face because
I can see the face, so I'll
I'll
verify this.
very, very, very upsetting to me, and I'm sure it is to some of you too. In Garrison's interview, he said, "If there's one thing I wish Robin and our kids would understand is that we all forgive them." And he starts to choke up a little bit. And he says, if you want to participate in the gift exchange with us, you're always welcome. Our arms are open. But if you don't, we're not going to chase. That's the key point there. That's why Robin's pissed off.
Because they won't chase them.
Exactly.
They won't give in to them.
Exactly. But he said all this with teary eyes.
Right.
His eyes were red. You could
The
see
kids
he
are
was
all
holding it back.
upset in the personal interviews.
And around the table, everyone, including the moms, look sad and defeated. They're all just like this face of like,
Like there's smiles on them, but you could tell like this just sucks.
and Garrison like starts getting choked up and he's like, okay, this is a lot of drama. Let's take a break from this. Let's end it on a good note. So in Christine's interview, she said, coming back to Flagstaff means dredging up and talking about the hardest time of my life. And she hopes that the kids feel some burden lifted now that they're just kind of like not gonna stress about
Them.
Cody and that whole drama.
I like to tell everyone when me and Mallow blocked our sperm donor.
Yes.
So it was great. Like we gotta put a lot of stress off ourselves. We didn't have to worry about him and all his moods and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I do recommend if you have that person in your life that just makes it worse and you feel heavier, block them.
Yeah, even if it's not forever, if you just need a break so that you can get some perspective on things and see
And if you feel heavier or unsure to unblock them, keep them blocked.
Right? If it makes you feel dread to unblock them, don't do it.
Right?
Okay?
Don't self-sabotage like that.
So in Cody's interview, he tells us that McKelty and Tony brought Avalon to see them for her first birthday. And he says that McKelty is still warm to them and wants a relationship with Robin. And there's a lot, and that has a lot to do with Tony because he loves Robin. They've always had a connection.
That's weird to say. It's super weird to say about like your daughter's husband.
Your son-in-law, about your wife.
A connection? What?
It's weird.
That's a weird way to put it. That's really gross.
And in Robin's interview, she said, Tony and I get each other. He's a good kid. And Cody
because he gets along with you.
Exactly. And Cody says, Robin saw McKelty in a way that Christine and I hadn't. And Christine even says that Robin saw that McKelty wasn't treated very nice by her older siblings, and she's definitely been another mom to McKelty,
Yeah.
and she's thankful for that. You know, she's
Right?
never.
There's nothing wrong with that. There isn't.
Yeah, and she's always been the first one to say something kind about Robin if it's true.
Right?
You know, and so there's never been that issue. It's just that she's also not afraid of telling the truth if there's something that's just not good, in her opinion.
Right?
So with the little fun part, we've got Christine Janelle and Christine's friends they're going out to dinner to celebrate her ex anniversary
Which is not the anniversary she left Cody, but her old anniversary date.
marriage date. Yes.
Yes.
And Janelle's glad because she needs to make more friends now that Christine's gone most of the time. And Christine actually met them through Isabel whenever they were planning a graduation party for
Yeah.
her. I guess they have kids the same age. And she said it's important to find like-minded people. And I agree for the most part. It's never good to be around people that only think the exact same way as you.
Yeah.
I think it's always good to have other opinions and, perspectives, because otherwise, how do you grow?
But find those people that you just click with and you like
Yes.
you just great. Those are the kind of friends you need.
Yes. Where it's not complicated. It should be easy to be
Right?
friends. And Christine is absolutely a big fan of divorce. She says it's awesome on the other side. So if you're thinking about doing it, just do it.
She's having a great time. You could tell she's so happy.
And all of the friends, so they're kind of like surprised that it doesn't bother Janelle when Christine says, her thoughts and opinions about Cody.
Because Janelle isn't even thinking about, staying with him at all.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not really with him yet myself, so.
This is looking nice. I might do it myself,
Right?
She's like, this is great. I can have friends.
Yeah, I can have a life. I don't have to just
Right?
revolve around you. In her interview, Janelle says she does not blame polygamy for their relationship issues. It happens in tons of marriages, monogamous or otherwise. People change. And that is so true. I
Christine
think
is
that things are way
very
more
mature.
complicated because it's polygamy.
Yes.
Especially when the kids are involved.
And especially when the marriages aren't, legal.
Well, it was real to them, and that's all that freaking mattered in my opinion.
It's easier to divorce from a spiritual marriage than
Oh yeah, that's not legal. You don't gotta get
yeah court.
But in Christine's interview, she said that he hasn't been the greatest dad to my kids. She doesn't see polygamy as a great family structure. And she said, once a guy finds the love of his life, the other women are screwed. And they never realized that until he found her.
Right.
And the thing is, I don't think she loves him a quarter as much as he loves her.
I don't see it from her either.
No, at all. So then Cody tells us in his interview that Christine forced herself into my life.
What?
She basically insisted we get married. I don't care that she's leaving. It hurt initially, but I'm fine. She should stop trash talking me to my children.
What the frick, dude? You're the guy who during it was like, I'm having dark thoughts. I don't want Robin to know, and I just want to be like.
If you didn't want to marry her, then why?
Also,
that's stupid. Like, it doesn't make any like. If you guys have not listened to the series we did about their book, you need to listen to it for this to make sense.
From like, you weren't hot anyway. I was dating you out of pity vibes.
That makes no fucking sense. So Christine tells her friends that Cody told her he wasn't attracted to her anymore and they wouldn't have a physical marriage. And a couple of months later, she refused him in her bedroom. I don't blame her. I don't think it would have taken me a couple months.
Right.
Just coming. I think maybe she was like, okay, maybe he didn't mean it. Maybe if like he's in bed with me and like I rub up against him the right way or something, maybe he'll change his mind. Nope, evidently not. That didn't work out. So get the fuck out.
Right.
And that's how you go, girl. I'm with you 100%. But in her interview, she said she wishes he would have sat them down and said, I found the love of my life. I found Robin and we're soulmates. Let's figure out how to make the rest of you work in this scenario.
because he refused to admit that she is the favorite.
And just played favorites and expected the rest of them to either be too stupid to realize it or to
Deal
just
with
go
it.
along and not say anything.
Right? And when they're not, that's when he got mad.
Exactly. But she said she's sad to show a divorce and the family broken, but she feels really vulnerable. But it's real, and that's what matters. And she is still and always will be sister wives, but you know.
Aw.
That was
That's cute.
yes, a
That-
really nice little
It's really sad.
Christine always manages to turn whatever the situation is into like a positive.
And she's had a lot of, experience doing that with the entire family.
Yeah, her like whole life it seems like. So, I'm really glad that these women are all finding their
Backbones.
their own
fine,
places.
Right?
They're like, okay, well, I'm gonna make myself happy since you have no interest in doing so. And if you want to come along for that ride, awesome. If not, I'm gonna be happy over here.
Right?
You do you, boo.
Right? Christine's leave. Janelle's thinking of doing so.
And Mary's like, I'm gonna just go over here and pretend that I'm on vacation, but I'm just never coming back. Going out for a pack of smokes. I'll be back in a few minutes, kind of thing.
Like she
You
went
know?
she went out for milk, never found the cow, didn't come back.
Right? So anyway, what do you guys think about this craziness? I mean, this episode really got me.
It was a lot
It really, really pissed me off and made me very, very like I felt a little violent at times.
You would think this it would be so full of stuff, but they had so many groups of these certain people.
So much talking, so many details.
Right? So much emotional
And
vulnerability.
I'm telling you, I've got like 6 pages of notes here, okay, from a 42-minute show. And there's still a lot of details that I couldn't like include every single thing.
Right?
You know, unless I was just going to dictate the entire episode, which I feel like I pretty much do anyway. So it's like there's going to be little tiny things that are in there. And if you guys want to see all that stuff, and I don't cover previews, I don't. I think if you want to see that, go watch the show. Well, you'll see what happens, and I don't like to know what comes up. I don't like previews. I don't like spoilers. So
We do not watch the trailers.
yeah, we don't do that. At least I don't. Papa
don't
does. He cheats, but I don't. But if you guys please, leave us some messages, give us some likes, if you want to subscribe and hear more of the stuff we've got out there,
We
because
had
they're
some-
totally free. It does not cost you anything.
We had someone comment.
We had a comment. Go grab the little sticker there on the keyboard. I'm gonna give her a shout out on here. I said it on Plathville, but for Sister Wives fans, we had our very first legit comment. And it was from Ms. Sweet Talk on YouTube, or it was at Ms. Free Miguel G. Yeah, thank you again to her for being our very first legit comment. She asked about something on Plathville. But thank you. And anybody else, you guys want to be the first Sister Wives commenter? I will, we want to shout out all of you guys who are willing to take a minute to spend time with us.
And if you give us a comment you want us to share, we will. We will discuss
Absolutely.
it.
We'll discuss it 100%. Yeah, that's what we're here for. You guys are visiting, our home. You're at Big Mama's house, and this is a conversation, not a lecture.
Right.
We want to hear from you guys.
Right.
So until we see you guys next time, I would like you to please spay and neuter your pets.
Break your leaves.
Please use your turn signals.
Brush your teeth before bed.
Oh my goodness.
She's asking me to do this. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what she's asking me to
This
do.
isn't like I'm used to doing it with Papa. I'm so sorry. But anyway, please wear your seatbelts and please be kind. It costs you nothing to be kind. Until next time, bye.